That's helpful. Joe Hicks is a former civil rights leader and vice president of community advocates, and we're watching this scene that Leland just took us to where they were throwing bottles at the police cars. You know, Joe, this guy goes out there, agitates the crowd, pours fuel on the fire, and you got to see in the media how he's just mentioned as the president of this group, and no one mentions that he's the same Malik Shabazz who was running around not long ago, and just play this sound, but keep this. Look at this. At the firefighters. They're throwing bottles at the firefighters. Under what suspicion are the firefighters? Nothing. It's just abuse. That's it. They're trying to put out fires of row homes that may have local families in them, and these guys are throwing bottles at them. It makes so much sense.
Crazy.
I mean,
just insane.
I just want the audience to hear what Malik Shabazz stands for and what his message to America. A couple of years ago, this is the guy now in there stoking the fires.
True sovereignty is black power. True sovereignty is black nationalism. True freedom and independence and liberation, and which is our rise. It ain't got no choice. It must coincide with the white world's demise.
The white world demise, and then he goes on to call white people the devil. Helpful.
Well, hardly. And you know, people like this continually are remade and reshaped and reformed. You know, people like Al Sharpton have never been held accountable for the kind of things he did and has said in the past. Here's a guy in a much more recent time frame that now is none of that is being referenced in terms of where this guy has come from. He just seems to be just another person there, you know, taking part in these protests. There's a whole history around this guy, and there's an underpinning of a certain kind of ideology that can't be escaped here, that's driving much of this anger we heard referenced by some of the people on the street that you showed earlier. So there's some very ugly kind of themes here that I think America needs to really wake up to and begin to talk about how do we deal with that. People who hate the very nation that they live in. And you said it earlier. I mean, this could be scenes from Syria or from Afghanistan.
Right.
I mean, what are we seeing here? A total breakdown of civilization. People dancing in the light of fires. I mean, this is outrageous kind of stuff we're seeing here.
Setting residential homes on fire, throwing bottles at firefighters. Since when did we see firefighters killing young black men? I mean, not that any of it made sense, Joe, but it's really crossed into complete lawlessness.
It has, and it's clear that early on, this had a very benign kind of beginning, with some peaceful protests, obviously supporting the family around the death of this unfortunate young man.
That's right.
Again, we still don't know all the facts about his death. It looks ugly, and it may be ugly, and if police did something that resulted in this young man's death, they need to be held accountable.
But we have to wait. We have to wait. We have to wait for the results of the investigation. Joe, my apologies. We're up against our hard break. We'll be right back.
So.